This show brought to you by Circle of Seven Productions, www.cosproductions.com. Please be sure to subscribe and welcome to our circle.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Reners Entertainment Radio. I'm your host, Patricia W. Fisher, and I very much appreciate you giving us a listen today. A few observances I wanted to mention on this day. It's January 20th, so it's the one-year anniversary of President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris's Inauguration Day. And whether or not you're a fan, it was a historic day for our country. In our 246-year history, we swore in a female vice president and a woman of color. And so it was a huge big deal, whether you're, pro, whatever. I won't discuss it with you. It is a historic day. There's also, today is also Penguin Awareness Day. So any penguins you might see, wish them a good day. There are 17 species of penguins, so you might come across one. And if you're interested in learning more about penguins, you can check out penguinsinternational.org. And then it's also Women's Healthy Weight Day, so I don't know who came up with that great awareness, but it's followed by International Sweatpants Day, so I kind of feel like it's a confusing message. But no matter your weight, a comfortable pair of sweatpants is always a good idea. And then I also want to give a big shout-out to the Romancelandia Bookshop. As a lover of the romance genre, I follow them on Twitter, and they have, all this merch, like buttons and note cards and stickers, and you can join the Romancelandia Sticker Club. So every month they'll send you a 3-inch sticker in the mail celebrating romance, happily ever afters, positive messages related to inclusivity and joy. And then in your first month if you do the annual membership of $60, you get a Romancelandia Sticker Club sticker. And at $60 for the year, you can buy individual stickers for $5 a piece or 3 for $10. And you can check them out at romancelandiashop.com, or you can follow them at Twitter at rom_shop. And then I'll also post it on my feed, which is PAWF1067, and it'll be there. So check them out. They have really pretty stickers. She had beautiful designs last year, so you should check it out. Well, okay, so I'm in Central Texas, and it's presently freezing, which we don't handle too well here. But there's also a chance of flurries this afternoon, so a bit of info. We're just not really good about this. But I do love cold weather and staying home with a delicious book. And so today I have a delicious book and a great author for you to learn about. If she might be new to you, you might have been anxiously waiting her newest releases, but I have Michelle Dayton, and she loves 3 things the most. She loves sexy and suspenseful novels, her family, and the city of Chicago. Oh, and Mr. Darcy. And she dreams of a year of world travel as long as the trip includes weeks and weeks of beach time. Agreed. And as a bourbon lover and an unabashed wine snob, Michelle thinks heaven is discussing a good book over an adult beverage. I would add on the beach to the end of that. I think it would be good. You can find her at Twitter at MKDaytonWriter and on her website, michelledayton.com, and you can sign up for her newsletter there, and all the links will be in the right above the show. Her latest releases, Scammer Girl and Disaster Girl, are the first of new series and available now. Welcome to the show, Michelle. How are you?
I am so great. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we were just talking about before we went live, it's about 19 degrees for you guys right now?
My computer says 17, so yeah, it is cold.
Ah, all right. And then you get that wind chill off Lake Michigan, and so just single digits for sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I am so sure. It's funny, my sister-in-law is from there, and every time we talk to her, when she was down, she met my brother when she was living in Houston. Huge difference, of course. And she would always talk about the weather, and I kept wondering, everything was weather-related, everything. And I kept wondering why. And a friend of mine who was a nurse, he worked up there, and he said, everything's because of the weather. You dress in layers because, if you go into the hospital at 6:30 and you come out at 3:30, you don't know. It could be raining. It could be, 90 degrees. So you dress in layers. Is that valid?
That is completely valid. Yes, I think I've got 3 on right now. I have my office is in a basement, and so and it's got its own little microclimate. So I have a turtleneck sweater on and a T-shirt, and I have a shawl in case, I get extra cold, I can just throw it on.
Sure, but you can also lay it across your lap. It serves a dual purpose here, It's good stuff.
True.
So you can make a little hot toddy with a little lemon and honey and bourbon with some cinnamon, and then snuggle up and read a book or watch a movie.
I love a bourbon hot toddy. Oh, yeah. I love a bourbon hot toddy.
I didn't make too many when I bartended. I didn't make too many hot toddies because, like I said, it doesn't get terribly cold for long periods of time here. A lot of bourbon, but that just sounds really good, though, like lemon, honey, bourbon, and cinnamon. I mean, you just can't go wrong.
No, that's how you survive January around here.
I would think so. If anything, you can put your hands in it and warm up. Use it on colds and, scrapes and cuts. So all good.
Multi-purpose for sure.
Yes, obviously. So I have to ask you, you're obviously a Jane Austen fan.
Yes.
What are your favorite Jane Austen adaptations for book or film?
Ooh, what a fantastic question. Well, a lot of people have very strong opinions on either the BBC version or the Keira Knightley version, and I actually really like both. The BBC one is great. It's just long. It's more of a time commitment. So if you need, your quick Darcy fix, then the 2005, the Keira Knightley is hard to beat. But I also, oh my gosh, I psychotically love the Emma Thompson, Kate Winslet Sense and Sensibility with. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, that is so good with Hugh Grant and what's his name, Colonel Brandon, who is Alan. Yes. Oh. I know. I think I could do any of those movies from start to finish, just all the dialogue. I love it so much.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it was interesting because I'd read Jane Austen, but when I saw that movie, man, that was just visually so captivating, and the cadence of it all, and the beats, and I mean, your heart breaks when it's supposed to, of course, and when it, you get a little excited and fluttery in the heart for, those moments. But wow. What a cast! I mean, that was wonderful.
Yeah, and I think Emma Thompson, didn't she win an Oscar for the adapted screenplay of that?
She did.
Which I thought was so cool.
She did.
So cool.
She did. Yeah, and then it was directed by he's an Asian.
Ang Lee, I think.
Yes, Ang Lee. Right. Exactly. Yeah, he did it. So, and I believe he was nominated that year too.
And Kate Winslet, I mean, that was early in her career. And she was just phenomenal, and then everything she's done has basically been phenomenal.
Right. Well, I mean, and you're watching it, and it's so interesting how timeless that process is of falling for the wrong guy, because I watched it with my grandmother, and then I watched it with my daughter not too long ago, so 20 years apart, more than 20 years apart of watching the two, and I remember both times just going, oh, girl, just walk away from me. You see it, and you're just like, oh, honey, just walk away.
But you get it, too. He gives her that look, and he takes a lock of her hair, and he saves her with her bad ankle, and you get it. You get why it happens.
I know. It's like Willoughby. Well, and what's interesting about it is Emma Thompson, they met. Greg Wise, I think's her husband's name, is Willoughby, and they met and they got married. So
I didn't know that.
Eleanor actually married Willoughby.
Oh my God! Now I'm like,
as
soon as we hang up, I'm Googling this. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know. I came across it somehow a while back. I was like, what? And I had to go back and look, but yeah, it is. Yeah.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Yeah. So who, in your opinion, is the best Mr. Darcy on film?
Oh, man. I mean...
I know.
I'm
just throwing you under the bus real quick,
hard
aren't
to... No, I love these questions. Oh, my God. I mean, Colin Firth is he's just like a prototype. He's so stiff and awkward and stuff. But I just think that some of the scenes with Matthew McFadyen, like the one where he touches her hand when she's stepping into the carriage, it's just some of his little things are so well done in that movie that he just kind of gets my heart, I think.
Yeah. So what about like adaptations in the sense of like Clueless and stuff? What are those? What are your favorite out of those kind of adaptations?
Oh, Clueless is so good. Oh. My daughter is 11, and I'm like, is she old enough to watch Clueless? I don't know. I feel like we're close. Close, yeah. I recently watched the newest Emma version. Did you see that one?
I had heard about it. Isn't that with Florence Pugh? Is that I'm thinking of the wrong actress?
The girl who's in the Queen's Gambit. Of course, I'm drawing a blank on her
Anna.
too. She's very distinctive looking. Yes, Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yes. Uh-huh.
She was Emma. That was like the newest version. I thought that one was very interesting.
Okay. I mean, it's interesting too because my daughter was like, "Wait, is that Ant-Man?" And I went, "Yes." She goes, "Did he age ever?" I went, "No."
No. I think we're all a little bit in love with Paul Rudd, aren't we? I mean, my daughter, she started to love him when he was doing karaoke with Jimmy Fallon. Have you watched any of those lip sync karaoke battles? They are hysterical.
So good. Well, and then it was funny too because my oldest, I'm showing her all these movies. She's 18, and I was like, okay, well, you love Paul Rudd, and we've seen some movies that said you're going to have to see the 40-Year-Old Virgin, and she's just going, oh my God, what is wrong with him? It was like it's just a different way to look at the world, I guess.
Oh, that is so funny. Oh, I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah, I know.
That
she's
was
like,
such a
wow.
cute when that came out.
I know. Well, and it's interesting because obviously he's Dorian Gray. He's obviously got a painting somewhere in his attic. But it
absolutely.
But he just has. He's kind of that fun. A guy who doesn't take himself too seriously. He knows he's smart. He knows he's good at what he's doing, but he's not necessarily believing his own press, I guess, is the best way to put it. The kind of characters he plays.
No, and like he, whenever you read that phrase, like he has a twinkle in his eye. That's Paul Rudd is who I think of. He has very twinkly eyes.
Yeah, that's true. He does. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun to see them all. So, are you a historical romance reader?
Oh yes, I am.
So are you anticipating Bridgerton season 2?
I am. I have watched the first season more than once.
Yeah.
And I'm very sad that the actor who plays Simon is not returning, but
Renee,
but I will definitely. He is so gorgeous. But I'm excited for season 2. I think I liked that. I haven't read the books in a really long time, but I've read all of the Bridgerton books. I think I liked Anthony and Kate's story quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, Anthony really needs to get put in his place pretty hard, so I'm looking forward to this.
He was way more horrible in the show than he was in the book. I read.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess and I love the fact that streaming services and different studios have figured out they can tell these wonderful stories on film, and you don't have to cram it into 90 minutes or 2 hours. We can do this, and the format's there now, where it wasn't really even 5 years ago. These limited
sort of
series.
Yes, limited series. I love this renaissance of them. I'm addicted to them because they just feel like the production value is usually so good, and you can really explore a book. I'm loving this limited series. I hope it stays. I hope it doesn't fade, go away like the miniseries did. I hope that it stays because I just think the content is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's kind of like what they were doing, all those, I don't know if you remember these, but they would always have those miniseries on, it was ABC, had a lot of them, but in the 80s and 70s, you had Roots, and then you had North and South, and you had Thornbirds and Lace, and, I mean, all these different ones, and they'd have, 2 or 3 a year, I guess, so it was like a big deal, and it was, 4 nights, 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, I remember those. They were a big deal.
Yeah. Super big. I mean, it was like I was in middle schoolish, and that you would get to stay up till 10. It's like a big deal. She got
oh,
stay
yeah.
until
And
10,
I was
at least for
definitely
me.
way too young to be watching The Thornbirds, but I definitely was watching it.
Right. Oh, Rolf. Oh, Rolf. With, Richard Chamberlain. Ah, yes.
That's what angst.
But it's
just good angst.
It was good angst. I mean, and it was amazing, the grandeur and the whole sweeping saga of it all, and just really, of course, terribly sad story as well as the romantic elements of it. But still, it's just kind of a disaster waiting to happen. But yeah, it was beautifully told. Great cinematography for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. So pair up with me if we ever have movie trivia at a writers' conference. I will help you win. So I know all sorts of useless bits of information. So speaking of sweeping fabulous books, you have 2 books out. So you've got Scammer Girl and Disaster Girl. And so this concept, if anybody, you need to check Michelle Dayton because this concept is fabulous. You have an elite group of online romance scammers going after married cheaters. I mean, seriously.
Yes.
And it's what? a group of 5 women.
Yep.
In this series, yes? So how did you come up with this?
I love movies like Ocean's 8 or like the Thomas Crown Affair, where you have like this, so Ocean's 8, I love that it was a team of women like all working together.
Yeah.
And they weren't on the side of the law for sure, but they weren't bad people. People make all sorts of complicated decisions in their lives, right? And sometimes starting in a place that's not, perfection is a great way to start for an emotional arc of a book. And I just loved this concept of these women kind of behaving badly in an entertaining way. And then like the Thomas Crown Affair, where you have 2 people who are kind of diametrically opposed about something, but they just like each other so much they can't stay away from each other. I love that kind of dynamic. And so that's what I was trying to do with Scammer Girl.
I mean, you bring about the Thomas Crown Affair, and I will say I did not see the one with Steve McQueen and Faye Dunaway, but I did see Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo, and wow. I mean, the chemistry on that was just like unhinged.
So good.
I mean, it was so amazing. I really wanted my hair cut like her. I've still been trying. It's only like 20 years, but it still doesn't work. It's like I cannot get it to fluff like she did in the movie. But of course, she's got someone walking around and doing her hair.
She had fantastic clothes.
Yeah.
She
did.
Ooh.
But I loved her presence. Like it was so fierce and so strong, but not so arrogant that she was first a jerk to people, but second, she also was listening and learning that whole time as well. So she was absorbing as much as she was, getting done. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was trying to do with my main character, because she has a PhD in psychology. And she's kind of a chameleon. She's been a chameleon her whole life. Like she kind of like watches, listens to what people say, and then kind of formulates a way to react that will be the best received. And so entering into this kind of idea where she's sort of entrapping men is all in her brain, really. Like she concocts these characters that these men are going to kind of fall head over heels with. And so it was kind of fun to write that kind of a puppet master. Yeah. Oh, for sure. A lot of people will sit in certain situations to kind of get inspiration, or an example is I needed a coffee shop scene in one of my books. So I was coming up with really generic coffee orders that they would like yell out. So I just sat at Starbucks one day and just wrote down every single order they yelled. And people come up with all sorts of weird stuff. So, how did you do that kind of those scenarios for this? Like, did you watch certain shows? Did you like sit somewhere and go, I wonder if, and like come up? How did you create like these cheaters, basically, your reasons and such? I'm trying to think, the genesis of the book was actually really different than where it ended up, which is, I'm sure you're an author too, that's happened to you. For me, I actually conceived of this. I always wanted to write a story where people kind of fell in love almost through letters.
writing one another. And I had kind of come up with an outline of these characters and how they would kind of fall in love by writing each other letters but they disagreed strongly about something. So writing the letters, they didn't think it meant anything until it did. Mm-hmm. And that kind of, and then I think, I was thinking about con artists and thinking how I'd like to write a book about con artists, just because I love the idea of like costumes and disguises and kind of a big con and some trickery. And somehow those two ideas kind of came together in my head. And so I was like, okay, so my two characters are going to be like this. The woman is going to be the con artist, and the guy is going to be somebody who's very, very opposed to any sort of crime. And it kind of, and then at the time I had written the first book, and I had been working with the publisher, and they said, we really like how you have this technology aspect to it, because the first book in the series is about revenge porn. And they're like, what about, what if you made a series? What if you made a series based on different aspects of technology that complicates romance? So I'd had this idea about con artists, and I had these two people, and I was like, this technology. So I'm like, and then I did some research on online romance scams and how much money people lose in the country, like in real life. And so that's how the idea came together for that.
Oh yeah, people get scammed, and it's awful. I mean, it's just awful. I mean, there's no way that people, it's like an accident or anything else. I mean, they're sought out. I mean, they're preyed on. These people are predators that are going after and trying to rip people off.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be so careful.
What was the biggest surprise that you saw when you were doing this research for con artists and scammers that were doing this?
I think probably just the dollar amount of the amount of money that is lost every year in online romance scams. It's like something like $120 million every year or something like that.
Is there a certain age group that's hit harder than others?
Some, unfortunately, people who prey upon the elderly, they belong in hell. Yeah. But sometimes the elderly folks who aren't so up to date on the kinds of ways people can wean in over the internet tend to fall a little bit more victim to it. And of course, lonely people, right? Because we're all looking for connection. Right. And so, so it's honestly, in real life, it's a very sad thing, and it's a very predatory practice. And so for my book, we really lightened it up, and our scammers, they really only kind of target jerks, married men who are cheating on their wives, and rich men. Sure. So it's not representative of the actual population who gets affected in real life.
Right. A friend of mine is a police officer, and he was talking about, they were working with the FBI because there was this really big sting that was going on, and multiple people had been affected in the town where he was a police officer. There was a woman there, an older woman, like you're mentioning, who was taken, and they would, email her and say, it was like, I'm stuck somewhere. It was one of those kind of emails, hi, and I just have to reach out, and I'm stuck in Indonesia when they're really like in Ohio. So she had sent them a bunch of money, and so they were able to get her statement and everything, and they sat down with her, and my friend was saying, we sat down with her, explained to her what was going on, and she was just devastated, and she lost several $1,000s. And they said, so if somebody reaches out to you again like this, what do you do? And what do you do type thing? And she's like, well, what if you're really in trouble? And she's like, no, don't do that. No. And she's just really worried.
It's so heartwarming, but
yeah. She's just really worried that, well, what if they are stuck? It's like, look, no, there are resources they need. It's just like, wow. And if you don't even know them, don't. So, but I'm glad that you're addressing. I mean, it seems like it would be obvious with someone going after cheaters. Would be married guys. Are there any married women that they target? Is that something that happens later in a series? I mean,
I'm open to that idea, but
yeah.
No, in my book, they only go after the men.
Okay. And so you've got two people that are going to meet, and then the second book is Disaster Girl, and so that's another member of the team. That came out in May.
Yeah.
Right.
It's actually there's overlapping character, but it's a completely different story. So the main character from Disaster Girl does have like a mini part in Scammer Girl, but she's not a scammer. Okay. She has her own kind of story and her own technology problem. She is the hook for that one is what happens if you fall in love with the hacker you hired to get your sex tape off the internet.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a lot.
So a whole different technology issue. Yep.
Right. So when you were doing the research for that, for revenge porn, it's different. Mm-hmm. It's not is it federal crime or is it state, or does it depend?
So it kind of depends. There are different laws per state. It's called NCP, which is actually called non-consensual pornography. And different laws have different states have different laws about it. But yeah, so we know it as revenge porn because of just the scenarios, but it's actually a broader umbrella. Just any sort of image or film or anything that's non-consensually posted to some sort of public arena.
Wow, it's but is it so? Does it become federal at any level? Like if you send it to so and so in another state, I mean. I guess it's harder to determine because it's internet, right?
I think, yeah. And the worst part about these like sites in particular, there's more than 6,000 sites that have NCP on them, and the majority of them are hosted off seas. And so they are actually not subject to our laws. And so, lawyers who work in this, they try to contact them to get them to take the material down, but it's just not effective. So it's so awful because it can go up and then somebody can like tag you on social media, so people in your life it's just a horrible thing that can happen. You're maybe careless 1 second of your life and you pay for it forever because people can Google you and for anything, a job interview or a date or something, and doing the research for that book honestly just broke my heart. Like I was just like, oh, this is the worst. So I definitely punished that guy at the end of the book, and I still feel good about that.
Oh, good. Yeah, don't you love that? I mean, it's one of those things that you can't really like actually punish them like you want. So it always feels good to do it in a book, right? You feel kind of cathartic a little bit.
Yes. Absolutely.
So do you have 5 total in the series?
So I have 2 out right now. The Disaster Girl came out in May, and Scammer Girl came out just on Tuesday. And then there will be 2 more. So I have one coming out in June, and then I have one coming out in the holiday time frame. So there will be 4 in the Tech-nically Love series. And then I have other books that maybe are on my website, but they're just not in this particular series.
Right. So you've got the Tracy brothers. And so
yes.
Tell me a little bit about them.
Oh, those are my sexiest ones. Those are my
yes,
my
they are
ones. Yes,
Stop
yes,
it.
They're about. I know. High key there. Ones that you don't want your mom to read. Those ones. Those actually were originally for. They were bought by an imprint of Simon and Schuster that unfortunately got shut down, but. They're fun. They're just fun. They're short contemporary romance. They're both set in Chicago. They're a set of brothers, and it's their love story, 1 book each. And they're just super fun, super short, super sexy.
I love it. So when did you decide? I mean, it sounds like you've been a reader for a long time. You love romance. You love a lot of things. So what made you sit down and go? What was that catalyst to say, you know what, I want to write a book?
Well, I think it's kind of what you said. Like, I've been a lifelong reader, voracious reader, and I always thought that being an author sounded like the most amazing job in the world. And and I guess I got an idea one day, and I'm like, well, I'll just try. Now, let me just tell you that particular book was abysmal. It is in a drawer somewhere, hopefully buried forever. I hope nobody ever sees it, but, you learn. From every project that you do, you learn.
You do, yeah. For sure. Yeah. I think there's a lot of us that have those books that will never see the light of day. But and I know that I've talked to people who are like, well, why wouldn't you if you spend all that time? It's like, yeah, but it's kind of a learning curve. Sometimes there's so much to fix on something that it's just like, I'll just start over, because it's kind of like you screwing up a recipe. You can't fix a recipe if you used salt instead of sugar. I mean, you're just going to have to just scrap the whole thing.
Oh, that's a great analogy. I love that. Yeah.
You know, I totally lifted that off of coal. Yeah, I totally lifted that off Coal Miner's Daughter because there's a scene in it when she makes the pie. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but she makes the pie, and it's like an auction, like, you know, whoever buys the pie she sits with and they eat the pie. And that's when she meets her husband, and she makes it. He pays all of $5 for this pie, which is like a huge amount of money. And he eats it, and she switched the sugar and the salt.
Oh,
so,
I haven't seen that. No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
So, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No. I mean, I think the great thing about I never feel that any writing is wasted. So I have these old projects, right, that are never going to see the light of day because they were horrible, but I lift things from them, like maybe even just like a phrase that I really liked, or that book that I was talking about that was so terrible. I actually used the title for my first novella that got published with Carina Press. My horrible book, but I loved the title, so I reused the title.
Yeah.
So I do feel like you can mine anything for value later. So I like that idea because it is heartbreaking to think of all the time and effort that goes into some of the things, but there's things you can use. That's not wasted.
Oh, for sure. And I think just the fact that you can sit down and say, I finished it, is huge because I think a lot of people aren't really completely aware of what it takes to finish a book. Like you're talking about 50,000 to some people 100,000 words, and it's 250 words a page on average. I mean, you're talking a lot of pages, a lot of words. So it's that feeling of, I finished it. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but I did it.
There's no feeling like it, right? Oh, yeah. I love it.
Yeah, when you know you're done. That's the best one. And then that crippling self-doubt when you send it to your editor. It's like
I have to.
You hit.
Oh, my gosh, Tricia, I have to do that in 3 days. I have to send my next one in, and I'm like, yeah.
I know you're feeling like, yes, this is the best thing I've ever written, and you send it, and like 2 hours later, you're like, oh, my God, I know, it's terrible. You know,
it's terrible. She's going to just write back and say, start over.
Yeah. Why do you send me this crap? Nobody wants to read this. Yeah. No, and it doesn't happen. I mean, but it's like one of those moments you're just like, oh, why do I do this to myself? Yeah. But then the book's released and everyone talks about it. You're like, and this is why. So it's very bipolar.
Yes.
Writing.
It is. It's an emotional roller coaster.
It totally is. So what are you wanting to write that you haven't written yet? Like, what is that project that you're just like, I really want to write about that? What is it?
Ooh, that is a a couple different answers, actually. Well, this year I'm writing a Christmas story, which I had never done before. So I'm a little bit excited about that just because that will be coming out this year. But in terms of very new stuff, this is not well timed because of the pandemic and everybody just being kind of over very dire things. But I always did kind of want to write like a post-apocalyptic something. But it's so funny. Believe me, I've tried pitching this to my agent, and she gives me a look. I'm like, but in like a fun way. It doesn't translate very well. But I did have an idea because I read this article on CNN like a year ago about these bunkers that billionaires are building to survive the apocalypse or whatever. And I had this story idea about what if the world has ended and this woman has found her way into one of these elite, bunkers that were, built by billionaires, but her getting in there was like a mistake. Like she lied, and now this is her whole world. And so so that's a little bit more of a thriller. So I guess, very long answer to your question. I think I'd like to try a thriller at some point.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite thriller writers?
Ooh, great question. I am loving, do you read Jennifer McMahon ever?
I haven't, but I will now.
She's phenomenal. I mean, I've Ruth Ware. I've read all of hers. Oh, she churns them out, man. She's got a lot of good ones. Of course, I can't. Is it Sophie Hannah? I love her. Who do you like thriller-wise?
It's been so long since I've read any thrillers. I've loved, like, the Heist with Janet Ivanovich. That's more of a cat and mouse type thing.
Sure.
But, yeah, and I, God, what was the last time I read a thriller? I've been reading so many, like, historical fiction and romance and nonfiction. I can't remember the last time I read a thriller. Now, like,
Lisa Jewell is very good. Lisa Jewell is very good.
Yeah. Well, horror-wise, of course, it's a totally different one, and that's not necessarily thriller per se. But and I've read limited amounts of those over my lifetime. But I will say that after reading Misery, I was like, I'm never going anywhere as a writer without, like, battery backup and, a survival pack. Because, man, that book was intense.
That was. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a classic for a reason. That is just, whew.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because Kathy Bates was, you see her in that, and then you see her as Evelyn in Fried Green Tomatoes, and then you see her as, like, in The Water Boy. It's just like you just don't even think it's the same woman. But it obviously is.
She's incredible.
Yeah, I know. She's just, and she seems like she's having a generally fun time with what
yes,
she's doing.
I know. There's a bit of glee to her that's just amazing.
Right. Well, and she was on Lip Sync Battle. I don't know if you've ever seen her on there, but she was on there and she played Bruno Mars. What was it? She did Bruno Mars, 24 Karat or something like that. Yeah, it was pretty funny because everyone's like, "What is she going to do?" It was so funny. It was great. But yeah, I think that one of my big ones right now. I've been reading more historicals. I read Wild Women Get the Blues. I think it was by Denny Bruce, and then I've of course read many Harlequins. I'm very excited about those. And it's one of those things of the balance of it all, like really getting to sit down to read something. And I don't know if you have this, but I notice that my writing goes kind of stale if I don't read. Like if I'm not reading.
For sure.
Yeah. One of the things I am listening to now, which I never thought I'd really like audiobooks, but I was out driving somewhere and so I put it on, was Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters' Storyteller. And I've found that a lot of books, especially biographies or autobiographies, are so much fun to hear with the actual person that's written it telling the story, because you get their inflections and you get that little, I don't know, like you're saying, sparkle in their words when they're describing something. And it's just, he's so good about telling his story. It's been a lot of fun. It's like I'm driving longer. Yeah. I'm driving around the block a few times, like, wait, I want to get to this chapter. But yeah, he talks about how he grew up in Washington, D.C. area, and then, of course, the people in the ER knew his name when he walked in. He said it was like Norm from Cheers. They'd go, David, because he'd
Oh, my gosh.
But it was a lot of, like, very nostalgic stuff. Like he talked about, being outside until dark and, running around the neighborhood and, banana seats on your bike and, 3 stations on TV. And, I mean, it's just like, wow, yeah, okay, But, yeah, it's just, I think I try to mix it up as much as I can. But, who knows? It might depend on the room I'm in of what book I'm reading. So just because, I left this here.
I go through phases where I'm like, I'm all historical for like 3 weeks. That's all I want. Like, I think there's a bit of a comfort level there. I love those. And I've read, I don't know if you've read any Sherry Thomas. I've become obsessed with her lately. She writes the Lady Sherlock series, which I've been reading for years and love. But I've just, for some reason, just discovered her more just historical romances, and I'm kind of tearing through those right now.
Yeah. I love when you find an author that's a new-to-you author, or even an author that you've known about, but you just haven't sat down and read their books, and there's this massive catalog, and it's like, it's like Christmas come again.
It is. Or those really wonderful times where you, like, stumble across a series, and you're like, I'll try it. and then you love the first book, and then you're like, there's 11 more. Oh, like,
I've got to buy them all. Yeah, for sure. And then, your family's like, sandwiches again? Really? You're like, yeah, it is. Sandwiches again. That's it. So,
enjoy your Kraft mac and cheese. Yes.
Everybody gets peanut butter and jelly. Everybody. That's it.
Exactly.
Have fun. You want variety? Throw some fruit on it. So yeah, it's just, I think that as a writer, and that there's all this different aspects of it that make us productive versus not. And so it's nice to, so many of us, I've been reading more than I've been writing the past 2 years, but definitely been appreciative of everybody who is writing and being productive. So excited about your newest release, because, certainly I can escape for a little while here and not think about everything.
I hope that you like it. And yes, escapism is so key right now.
Oh, yeah, I think everyone needs to give themselves a break from time to time. I mean, I think it's healthy. I think it's essential for certain. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so you've got some stuff coming up later in the year. Would you come back and talk to us again when it comes out?
Oh my goodness, I would absolutely love to.
Yay. Especially with your holiday, I want to hear all about how you went through, if you had to crunch all the Hallmark holiday movies for inspiration.
I would enjoy that task so much.
I know. It's like, Mommy, it's working.
Exactly. Don't mind the popcorn and my wine. No, just don't mind it. It's fine.
Yeah, no. It's interesting, though, because I've done stuff like that, and the kids are like, are you working? I'm like, yeah, I am actually, just taking notes here. It's kind of important that I get this right. So, yeah. I swear, it is. It is research. It is. I think I can see why, though, that family gets confused, because they're like, okay, are you doing research right now? Are you not doing research right now? It's like, that's fair. I think I was at a conference one time, and they said to wear a hat or have some sort of sign or something up, like I'm working, or if I have this hat on, don't talk to me. So maybe I should do that. Maybe I should get a hat, and so if I have this hat on,
it would be a very clear signal. Yeah,
it would be. But they're not going to look at it anyway. They're not going to listen to it, so it's like kind of pointless.
No, never.
Be like Nora Roberts, who's like, okay, you're not actively bleeding and nothing's on fire, so why are you talking to me?
Oh, exactly. Oh my God, I love her so much. Yeah.
She's just, amazing. And I don't know if you've heard, and anybody out there, there was a website recently shown online that they were ghostwriters.
I did see that.
Yes.
I was like, what is
They're
wrong
ghostwriters,
with you
and they
idiots?
put her book on there, and it was like, oh my God, everyone step back. This is going to go nuclear, because she, I'm sure, did not take that news well.
Oh, she's so incredible. Like when she comes out of her writing cave, it just brings the hammer down. It's the best ever.
I know. It's insane how productive she is. I mean, I remember she said she used to pretend that she was sick when the UPS guy would show up and she was still in her pajamas at like 2:30 in the afternoon. And then then she was like, she just quit doing it. She was like, he knows. So.
Yes, I've seen her talk a few times at conferences, and she's just stellar every time. Just her just dry delivery, and she's just like, "Yep, this is me." Mm-hmm. And you're like,
"Yeah,
you're
this
amazing."
Is it. So it's always funny. So when Romance Writers of America had her for, she'd come and do these 2-hour conferences and answer the same 50 questions every year, and she was very nice about it. But there'd always be this mad dash for the bathroom afterwards, obviously, because we'd all been sitting in there drinking coffee the whole time. And there was a friend of mine who was in the bathroom, and she said there was this woman in the stall saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm at this conference, and this is so amazing." And she starts talking, and then she's asking questions of the person in the stall next to her, and you can tell, and you hear this low gravelly voice. The woman's like, "Oh my God, this is like the most amazing conference. Have you been to a conference before?" And you hear the voice go, "Yes, I've been to a few of these conferences." She goes, "Oh my God, this is amazing. My name's Tara. What's your name?" And she's like, "Hi, Tara. My name is Nora Roberts." And everybody lost it in the bathroom. Like, and the funniest part about that was my husband goes, "You talk to each other in the bathroom?"
I mean, that
like,
is a
yes,
fair question.
women do talk to each other in the bathroom. He's like, that's weird. Like, no, it's not.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
So everybody who's been listening to us, this was Michelle Dayton talking to me about her books. They are out now. You've got Disaster Girl and Scammer Girl. They are out. She has 2 more coming out this year. If you want to reach out to Michelle, get on her newsletter list and everything else, she is at michelledayton.com. She's also on Twitter at mkdayton, Dayton, writer. And you can also have the links in the write-up of the show. So it has been wonderful talking to you today, Michelle. Please come back later this year and talk to us some more.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Absolutely. You too. And this has been Patricia W. Fisher with Readers Entertainment Radio. And you can and please stay safe and stay well. And we will talk to you next time.
This show brought to you by Circle of Seven Productions, www.cosproductions.com. Please be sure to subscribe and welcome to our circle.